Hello, wedding vendors or small business owner. This season, we were doing the same task again and again. And especially when we were pretty busy, it was just getting on to us. It felt like we were never able to catch up. And what we decided is it was time to do some automation. Now, this is what our existing process was, where we would get an email either through Google Form or through our email notification. And then we'll go back to Gmail, compose an email using our draft, change the placeholders, and send an email. And then from there, we just don't know what happened, whether they opened the email, whether they clicked the links. And then we just would feel ghosted because most of the time, people just won't respond back. And then if they had the desire to do a tour, we would go and create Google Meet, calendar invite, everything all manually. And then if they decided to book the venue, we had a bunch of tasks that we had to do again, over and over again. Agreement, blocking our calendar, creating our master event tracking sheet. We also have I-73 form that we send to Liquor Commission, and then sending the agreements to to the couples and things like that. A lot of repetitive work every single time, every single time. Now, the biggest problem is this, that we would have 20%, 30% of the couples that would acknowledge the email. Rest all, we would just feel like we were ghosted. But still, we wanted to be able to respond to every single email because we didn't want to miss anything. And every single email in the process was manual, which means every once in a while we would figure out that while copying pasting, we copied somebody's name into somebody's email, and then we would mess things up. So our solution is pretty simple, homegrown, and I'm not going to go through each and every bullet item, but please feel free to pause the video to see what exactly it does. But let's get into the demo. This is how the process starts, where our couple reaches out to us through a Google form, which is embedded into our website. And I'm assuming most of you guys have a similar Google form to capture the lead. This is where life starts to change for us. In the Google Sheet, every single record comes down to the end. We'll have to go back and sort it out. So we just made it easy so that it stays on the top. In fact, you don't even need to go to the Google Sheet. The entire form that gets filled in, we had the breakdown listed out completely one line at a time, right in the mailbox, so that you know exactly what they were looking for. And then our system would automatically respond back using their particular request, number of guests, the package that they're looking for, and things like that. And it happens completely hands-free. Now, we used to do this earlier, where we used to have a draft and we would do a copy and paste. This time, the tool does it all on its own. Your predefined placeholders are instantly replaced with no risk of like missing or mistyping or anything. Everything that we have in terms of the pricing and packages also comes in from your Google Sheet, which means if you change the pricing, if you adjust a package, if you update your draft, the system instantly updates it for the next email going forward. But we definitely didn't want to feel it like a bot. This is where we started with the queuing mechanism, which means you pick up the days and the times when you want the response to be sent. You don't want this to go out in the email in the weekends, or if you want fast responses, just like for Zola ranking, you set the rules. For us, we want to have it like between 4 to 6 hours, for example. And then we had a rule that says if somebody comes in around 7 o'clock or after 7 o'clock in the night, we do not want to respond back in the night. The system would respond back first thing in the morning. And then the times are random. That way it doesn't feel like it's automated. Every single inquiry is color coded. That way you know how many emails have been sent, which are still pending in the queue and things like that. You can see exactly what's happening. This is the big win for us. This is what people pay a lot for. Now we know when the email was opened, how many times the email was opened, and if the links were clicked. And then we can decide to follow up. So for example, last week we had one couple whose email showed that they hadn't opened it. So we actually followed up via text and they acknowledged that their email wasn't working. So we re-forwarded that, got into conversation, and actually set up a tour for them. So this is a big, big win for us. And as I said, we wanted to keep it very real. So if you get the email that talks about what they have submitted, and if there is any reason why you actually wanted to stop the automation for that email, you could just click on the link within your email and it would just not send anything. You can just manually go and do your things. It also sends when the email is going to be scheduled. That way you know how much time do you have if you want to make something, change the rates or whatever. But again, it's all in your control. Nothing is in a hidden tool. And we are on Zola and we love Zola. And yes, we took care of the Zola as well. If you are on unlimited plus plan, you don't have to log into Zola at all. We take care of it. Look at the email, find out who has looked at it, and it goes to the same exact sheet that you are maintaining. That way you have a concise location for all different endpoint that comes in Zola, or you could come up with Wedding Wire and Node and things like that. If they want to decide to come in for a tour, all you have to do is just add the tour date and tour time in your sheet, and bingo, we just instantly send an email notification with a calendar invite. Again, it takes a few minutes just do it manually, but imagine how many times we do it over and over. That's why it's a big, huge saving for us. We didn't stop right there. Even when you sign the contract, you add that into your Google Drive, and the system automatically blocks your calendar so that nobody can take that booking. And then a bunch of these automation. I somebody who formed the Liquor Commission Court and Agreement in the couple. We have a wedding checklist that we do. We also have a master tracking sheet that we maintain to see how many bookings we have done, which state every booking is in, all those kind of things. So this all automated. Now, what did we achieve? This is, if you look at the stats, we have saved a full day of work every single week for the past 4 weeks. Because for the past 4 weeks, we haven't responded to any email manually. Everything happens from the system. And then every email does get responded back within 4 hours, 4 business hours, which is awesome. And then the big part here is no more guesswork, no stress. Oh no, it has been 7 hours, it's been 10 hours, we haven't responded, we need to log in, because we have to be on the computer to look at the email, create a draft, copy and paste. You can't do that from the phone. Now, every single thing is on your phone. Your inquiries, your opens, clicks, bookings. You can open the the sheet in the Google Drive on your phone, and great. This has just been amazing for us. What is it? What is it not? Just in all honesty, we are not creating a big CRM platform. It is homegrown tool, uses the things that we know and we work with all the time, the Gmail, the Sheet, the calendar, the Drive. Nothing new that you have to learn. This is all human, no AI chatbot. Even though it's automated, it feels pretty human. Automation, personalization, you think of whatever we have done in here, it's just huge, huge time saver for us. Now, we would love to get your feedback. That's where we want to decide whether this is good enough just for us, or we should actually make this as a product and see if we can help other vendors and is it useful for other people. If you can please go to the victoriain.com/vendor lowercase, or scan this QR code and give us the feedback whether you think this is worth we should spend time on this, or you don't think this is something that's going to be really great. We really appreciate your support. Thank you again for watching, and hopefully we'll see you with the feedback.